It's week 44 of a year of wisdom. Let's get to reading. Day 305. Job 1. There was a man in the land of Uz whose name was Job. Now that man was blameless and upright. He feared God and shunned evil. He had 7 sons and 3 daughters, and his possessions were 7,000 sheep, 3,000 camels, 500 yoke of oxen, and 500 female donkeys, and a very large household. That man was the greatest of all the people of the East. Now it was customary for his sons to hold a banquet, each on his own day in his own house. They would send to invite their 3 sisters to eat and drink with them. When the round of banquet days was completed, Job would send for them and consecrate them. He would rise early in the morning and offer burnt offerings according to the number of them all. For Job said, "Perhaps my children have sinned and cursed God in their hearts." Thus Job did every day. One day, these sons of God came to present themselves before Adonai, and the Satan also came with them. Adonai said to the Satan, "Where have you come from?" The Satan responded to Adonai and said, "From roaming the earth and walking on it." Adonai said to the Satan, "Did you notice my servant Job? There is no one like him on the earth, a blameless and upright man who fears God and spurns evil." Then the Satan responded to Adonai, saying, "Does Job fear God for nothing? Have you not made a hedge around him, his household, and everything he has? You've blessed the work of his hands, and his possessions have increased in the land. But now stretch out your hand and strike everything he has, and he will certainly curse you to your face." Then Adonai said to the Satan, "Everything he has is in your hand, only do not extend your hand against him." So the Satan departed from the presence of Adonai. One day when his sons and daughters were eating and drinking wine in their oldest brother's house, a messenger came to Job, saying, "The oxen were plowing and the donkeys were grazing near them when the Sabaeans attacked and carried them off. They also killed the servants with the edge of the sword. I alone escaped to tell you." While this one was still speaking, another came in and said, "The fire of God has fallen from heaven and has burned up the sheep and servants. It has consumed them, and I alone escaped to tell you." While this one was still speaking, another came in and said, "The Chaldeans formed 3 bands and raided the camels and took them all away. They also killed the servants with the edge of the sword, and only I alone, escaped to tell you." While this one was still speaking, another came in and said, "Your sons and daughters were eating and drinking wine at their oldest brother's house, when suddenly a mighty wind came from beyond the wilderness and struck the 4 corners of the house, and it collapsed on the young people, and they died, and only I alone, escaped to tell you." Then Job got up, tore his robe, shaved his head, fell to the ground, and worshipped. Then he said, "Naked I came from my mother's womb, and naked I will return there. Adonai gave, and Adonai has taken away. Blessed be the name of Adonai." Through all this, Job did not sin, nor did he cast reproach on God. Proverbs 1. The Proverbs of Solomon, son of David, king of Israel. To acquire wisdom and discipline, to understand the words of insight, to receive instruction in wise behavior, righteousness, justice, and fairness, to give discernment to the naive, knowledge and discretion to the youth. Let the wise listen and increase learning, and the discerning obtain wise counsel. To understand a proverb and a puzzle, the sayings of the wise and their riddles. The fear of Adonai is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and discipline. Hear, my son, your father's instruction, and forsake not your mother's teaching, for they are a garland of grace for your head and a chain to adorn your neck. My son, if sinners entice you, do not give in. Suppose they say, "Come with us, let's lie in wait for blood, let's ambush the innocent for no reason. Let's swallow them alive like Sheol, still healthy as they go down to the pit. We'll find all sorts of valuable things. We'll fill our homes with loot. Throw your lot in with us. We'll all have one wallet. My son, do not go along with them. Keep your foot from their path. For their feet run to evil, and they are swift to shed blood. Surely it is useless to spread a net in the eyes of all winged creatures. But they lie in wait for their own blood. They ambush their own lives. Such is the fate of all gaining by violence. It takes the life of its possessor. Wisdom calls aloud in the streets. She raises her voice in public squares. She cries out above the commotion. At the entrances of the city gates, she utters her speech. How long will you naive ones love simplicity? You scoffers delight in scoffing, and you fools hate knowledge. You are repulsed at my rebuke. Behold, I pour out my heart to you. I will make my words known to you. Because you refused when I called, and did not pay attention when I stretched out my hand, since you ignore all my advice and would not accept my rebuke, I in turn will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when dread comes onto you. When your terror comes like a storm, and your calamity sweeps over you like a whirlwind, when trouble and distress overwhelm you, then they will cry out to me, but I will not answer. They will earnestly seek me, but will not find me. Because they hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of Adonai, they would not accept my counsel. They spurned all my reproof. So they will eat the fruit of their own way and be filled with their own schemes. For the backsliding of the naive will kill them, and the complacency of fools will destroy them. But whoever pays attention to me will live securely and be free from the fear of evil. Ecclesiastes 1. The words of Kohelet, son of David, king in Jerusalem. Futile, futile, says Kohelet. Completely meaningless. Everything is futile. What does a person gain in all his labor that he toils under the sun? A generation comes and a generation goes, but the earth remains forever. The sun rises and the sun sets and hurries back to the place it rises. The wind goes toward the south and circles around to the north. Round and round it swirls about, ever returning to its circuits. All the rivers flow into the sea, yet the sea is never full. To the place where the rivers flow, there they go again. All things are wearisome. No one can express them. The eye is never satisfied with seeing, nor the ear filled with hearing. What has been is what will be, and what has been done will be done again. There is nothing new under the sun. Is there anything about which is said, look, this is new? It was already here long ago, in the ages long before us. There is no remembrance for former things, and things yet to come will not be remembered by those who follow. I, Kohelet, am king over Israel in Jerusalem. I applied my heart to seek and examine by wisdom all that is done under the sun. What a burdensome task God has given the sons of men to keep them occupied. I've seen all the deeds done under the sun, and behold, all is meaningless and chasing after the wind. What's crooked cannot be made straight. What is missing cannot be counted. I spoke with my heart, saying, I have grown rich and increased in wisdom more than any who were before me over Jerusalem. Indeed, my heart has experienced much wisdom and knowledge. So I applied my heart to know wisdom, as well as to know madness and folly. I learned that this too was pursuit of the wind. For with much wisdom comes much grief, and whoever keeps increasing knowledge increases heartache. And as always, thank you so much for being here today. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button right there and click the bell if you want notifications. And make sure to hit that like button for me as well. And I will see you tomorrow. Maranatha.
I know without a doubt you'll carry me out of the storm. I'm standing at the crossroads. I'm lost without a clue. I need a big pink neon sign to show me what to do. I thank you, Lord. It glorifies you when you're the only answer. I praise you, Lord, for holding what's too much for me. And I'm amazed by you, Lord, because nothing's too big and nothing's too small to lay at your feet.